Good morning. Regarding the situation in Coolock in Dublin, where the government is forcing in migrants, and I'm asked to make comments about the Garda and its policing and all that. I do make the point that the Garda have to uphold the law, they have to follow their instructions, but they must stay within the law. That's very, very important for all Gardaí. Now, it looks to me like there is a sort of a heavy gang there to deal with these riots, or a riot squad or something, which have all the appearance to me of being McEntee's stormtroopers. They really remind me of the SS for Helen McEntee. How a woman from Nobber, a young woman from Nobber, can be at this criminality is something I don't know. Remember, you could have a policy brought out in a country where the first child born to every woman must be taken by the state and something and sold or given to somebody else. That would create a riot. Now, the thing about it is, you could say that they're far right and they're this, that, and the other. I believe there's one example where a rioter got on top of a Garda car and banged it down with his boots to commit damage to the car. So those videos do not tell the whole story. The guards cannot stand by and let somebody attack their property or anyone else's property. Secondly, we see it was on GB News that they tear gassed a 78-year-old man. We don't know what he was at. We can assume he probably wasn't at anything else. So I have to take phone calls because of my work. But the thing is that if that's going on, that's bad enough. Now, one of the things I see on the video, I seen a man, say about 68 or 9, being beaten with sticks, and they don't seem to be using batons anymore. Now, it must be understood, where the Garda use force, whether it's with any kind of a weapon or otherwise, it must be to achieve a legal purpose. It must be to protect life and property there and then, not next week or anything else. So if somebody's banging on the roof of the car and damaging it, the Gardaí can use force there and then. If your man runs away, they can't go over and wallop him. The proper procedure is to arrest him or charge him. Secondly, if the government wants to force in migrants into Coolock, they have the option of going to the civil court and taking an injunction out against the people who are trying to stop it. That's the proper procedure. In the case of the farmers, when they had a protest outside the meat factories went to the courts and took injunctions against them. And it succeeded. It put the farmers that they had to have a peaceful protest. Now, there's rules about peaceful protests and all that. So that's my opinion. If I don't know, was anyone beaten or hit or struck or abused who was only doing a protest, who was only standing there and not particularly obstructing traffic? Now, if you obstruct the bus going in, under the Road Traffic Act, the Garda can order you to allow the traffic to go through, and if you fail to do it, he has powers then. But those powers are mainly to arrest. They're not to hit you with a baton or anything else. So, have I made that clear? Where a guard uses any force, including using any kind of a stick or a truncheon, it must be an imminent threat to life or property. It can't be to make you move out of the way. If you're in the way, the government have the option of going to the courts, civil courts, and taking out injunctions. That's difficult for them because somebody else will move in. So the Gardaí need to know their law and they need to operate carefully. Now, where a Garda gratuitously hits somebody, if that video is right, where they hit that poor old fella, I'd say he looked to be an all right fella, and walloped him, that's a breach of the law. That's common assault. The proper procedure there is you make out a statement. You don't go into any station. You don't go to anywhere. You get out your typewriter or your half piece of paper or whatever it is, and you write statement of John Henry McGorty, 61, such a drive, Crumlin, Dublin 2, or whatever it is, retired bus driver or whatever you are, unemployed or whatever. On such a date, I was involved in this process. I was there on the Monday. I was shouting, but I did not interrupt. You need to say exactly what you did. On the Monday, I was there the same. Some people did tramp on a car. I saw the Gardaí arrest them. I didn't do anything like that. And then so on. And as I was on the street, a Garda came down, and you get his number. The number's here on the shoulder, right there. and his number was 438 or 439 or 560, whatever it was, or maybe MR or DR or something. Each district has its own number, and he hit me across the head with a stick. And then the next thing you need to do if you're injured is go to a doctor and have him check you out and be able to give you a bit of a statement to say, I examined this man and he had abrasions to the head, neck and shoulder. You then finish your statement, and you could, the best thing is to get it typed if you could. But if you can't, you photocopy it. And you needn't sign it at all. Now you need to send it to the Garda Commissioner, the Minister for Justice, GSOC, isn't that the Complaints Commission, and the Garda Inspectorate. Don't forget the Garda Inspectorate has powers. So you need to send it to 4 people, and it'll cost 37 or 8 euros. You have to register the letter. Now you also hand one in at the Garda station concerned and let them investigate it. There's no excuse for thuggery in the Guards, but I have to make it clear that the Gardaí have a job to do too, and they're caught in this way. Most of them want to feed their family, but there may be a few hothead show-offs there who want to show you what went on. In the case of Gemma Doherty, they convicted her for violent disorder, and I have a plan in that. Violent disorder, you have to be committing a breach of the peace. If there's nobody, only guards present, you cannot be guilty of violent disorder. But if there's other people there, you can. So these are technical matters that would have to be fought in the courts. I don't want to see the guard in this woke, mad migration, destruction of our country. The police can be caught in the middle, and that can happen quite a lot. It's the top where the problem is. That's where the real problem is. But if the guards deliberately beat or hit or assault any person for no reason, unless the force is necessary, unless it's to achieve a lawful purpose, and they must state that, then they're guilty of assault the same as anybody else. Gardaí need to mind themselves. I wouldn't put myself out for this government, but it's up to you. If you think you'll get promoted by walloping people across the head, well, then you have to take the consequences that goes with that. That's the way it is. All I can do is do my best and help. I do say to the guards, if the superintendent wants you to do something, get it in writing of him. Tell him, give it to me here in writing. I want you to baton charge those people. Ask him for it in writing. And they shouldn't baton charge anyone without a senior officer, the senior man present, calling them to attention and giving the instruction to baton charge. There's all rules and regulations on that. During the H-Block riots in 1981, the IRA, Sinn Féin were gone mad, went to Dublin. They decided to wallop the guards, burn down the British embassy again, do all this. And the Gardaí had no option, only confront them with big heavy sticks and wallop them till the blood run down them. It was the question of who bled the most. And I backed the Gardaí on that because that was wrong. You can't have a group of thugs taken over like that. But that was a genuine thing. That was in a reaction to events in Northern Ireland to which neither the Gardaí, the government here or anything had any control. This is a matter that is control of the government. The government are selling out their country. They're committing treason. And this is the problem the Gardaí are in. But I repeat what I say. Gardaí should keep within the law. They have their instructions. If you're forced to do something that you don't think is right, ask for it in writing of a senior officer. And then only use minimal force. That's the law, whether you like it or not, and that has been the law for 200 years. There never was a law in Ireland or Britain or in America or anywhere else where a policeman can just, for the sake of gratifying himself, wallop a person across the head. As regards the pepper spray, well, if it's generally you see and they need to disperse them, that might be an excuse. But I can only say that. It's a sad situation. It is a very sad situation, but the problem here lies in the fact that a lot of people in this position have supported the traditional parties, and people around Meath, North Meath, are getting a new school, and they're going to probably vote for Helen McEntee so that she can wallop the heads of the working class people of Dublin. And this has all been pushed mostly on working class areas. Pat Kenny, the RTE announcer, he didn't want a nursing home beside him in Bullock Harbour in Dalkey, a nursing home. Or throw them all down there to Coolock. So they're only the plebs. People got to wake up that Sinn Féin is not on your side. Sinn Féin's a fake working class party. Neither is Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael. We will hopefully manage to field candidates for the Irish Freedom Party. I'm not hopeful. Will they vote for them? Probably not. We can only do our best. Okay, folks, that's my take on it. Do it properly. Make a note. Have your videos. Make sure the videos are complete. Videos do not tell everything. They can be doctored. They can be altered. So we have to be very careful. Okay, folks. Good luck. We'll see you back. Thank you.